Miami's backfield? I feel like this is one of the big open questions in drafts because I've already seen ferocious takes on either side of the Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane situation. Like that team gave us a couple of two difference making backs last year, right? Like Raheem Mostert, right up until the late season injury, was one of the absolute right answers in fantasy, one of the decisive players in the game. And before his mid-year injury, Achane looked like an absolute cheat code, right? He was the most efficient player. Like he was on a Jamal Charles role, basically the most efficient back that we had ever seen over a protracted period. Super productive. And he was doing it with Mostert also producing simultaneously. That's probably not something that we can just project forward and assume that that's going to continue for another full season. So talk to me about those two backs, who you think the better value is, where you think they should be drafted, whether the incoming rookie, Jalen Wright, is going to matter at all for fantasy. Maybe he will. Some people are excited about him. And when do you think we'll have a clear picture of that backfield?
Dolphins running backs took them all last season. I mean, I believe they were tied with the Niners with scoring touchdowns by their running backs. So it was a great year in fantasy. We'll continue to, in that system. So Achane feels like a guy I normally would be all over, but man, there's durability risk there. Given his durability issues and Mostert's age, I expect all three to put up top 5 fantasy back weeks this season, including the rookie Wright. So what I want to talk about specifically with them is just there's some splits with the Dolphins here. Can they hold up later in the season? That's been the issue. In September, November, they've been scoring 28 points per game. December, January drops to 22 over the last 2 years. This year, they end the year at Green Bay and Thanksgiving, the Jets, at Houston, the Niners, at Cleveland, and at the Jets. I mean, that is they have the second easiest stretch, weeks 1 through 12, second toughest stretch, week 13 on. So I'm picking week 17 at Cleveland.
So it sounds like maybe you're not fully buying this best shape of his life, fully beefed up version of Devon Achane, because Achane coming into the league was a major worry for me because we just don't see a lot of players who are that small, who really hold up to a full workload.
Oh, I'm not putting anything past him. I mean, he has the upside to be the number 1 fantasy player this year without question. It's just a risk if you're taking him. I mean, some leagues he's going mid-second round, and you're talking about a 12 touch per game guy. But I will not fault anyone for taking Achane. You want to take him number 1 overall, I'd be like props for getting your guy. So but I mean, probably not going to be on a ton of my teams where he's going though, which is different than my normal drafting style because I'm all boom bust. But man, I don't know. There's a lot of risk here.